Hi guys, my name's Adele Onyango and welcome to another episode of Legally Clueless. No, seriously, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Welcome to another episode. I'm recording this on a Monday morning like no other because this has got to be the first Monday that I'm in a good mood. I don't know what it is about today. I mean, the weather is shit in Nairobi, but I'm in a really good mood. So I'm going to start with shouting out my Instagram fam. So if you didn't know, the podcast is on Instagram. You can follow the page. It's Legally Clueless Podcast. Now, I get quite a few DMs and tags, but I'd like to appreciate Leah Diaries, who actually took a video of herself taking a stroll while listening to the podcast. Really means a lot that you guys love this space. I think another reason I'm in a good mood is this weekend I finally managed to relax. So I went out of town to Amboseli National Park. And for those of you in Kenya, or even if you're not in Kenya, make sure that's one place you've got to visit. It's a beautiful park. The weather is just right. It was a nice mix of cool and sunny. You get to see a lot of animals, from elephants to hippos to lions. There was somebody at the hotel that we stayed at that got to see a leopard. We didn't. And I also figured out how to calm my mind. I don't know if you guys have the same problem. I genuinely cannot stop thinking. I overthink everything. It's so exhausting. So now what I do is I read, because it tricks my mind that, we're still thinking, we're still working, but we're really not. I've distracted it from worrying about this podcast or worrying about radio and whether I like that, or worrying about life in general. I told you guys, I overthink everything. So I distract my mind from that into a book. So the book I carried over the weekend, I'm on the fourth read of it, imagine. By the time I've read a book 4 times. It's really good. So it's Rupi's The Sun and Her Flowers. My sister Amanda gave it to me for my birthday this year. And I love poetry, so I really have an appreciation for this book. And she really knows how to use poetry to take us through a heartbreak, through her surviving rape, through her rediscovering herself and falling in love again. She even talks a bit about her parents being immigrants and being in a long-distance marriage, her mom not really knowing how to speak English, her falling in love again, and then wondering if that's going to work out or if it's just going to get her heart broken again. I mean, it's just relatable things in such a simple way. I think you should read the book. Other than that, last week, I spent most of the days collecting some of the 100 African stories. So in the last episode, I told you I'm going to try and collect as many human stories from Africans and people living in Africa, just because it's a nice way to get inspiration, get a giggle or two, to learn stuff from other people's stories. Because individually, personally as Adele, I don't have a monopoly over all the things people experience in life. I can only share my battles and my stories so much, right? The story that I'm going to share with you in this episode is of a young Kenyan woman. We first got introduced to her in the music world. She was one of our top-ranking African female rappers, and she still is to date. You know, we watched her career grow online. I remember it really took off on Facebook and then went into mainstream media. And after that, and a couple of hits later, she unfortunately got into a terrible accident with 2 of her friends. One of them unfortunately passed away, which, regardless of your age or where you are in this world, is a lot to handle. Well, after that accident, she was in the ICU for a while, and she got out, thankfully, and had to learn how to do a lot of things like walking all over again. Her story is really powerful, and it's one of my favorites because she talks about being really good at something, but not loving it, and finding a different her, and wanting to be this different person. Sometimes it's really hard to juggle being good at something, because then everyone around you is just like, oh, but you're really good at this, and this is what you need to be doing. But inside, it's really not fulfilling. It doesn't bring you joy. But there's that fear of, okay, what if I leave this thing that I'm really good at, jump into the unknown, and I'm really shit at that? I really loved her story. Now, what I love about this feature, 100 African Stories, is that the people invite me into their homes, into their safe spaces, and they share the story with me. Now, Wangechi lives near a construction site. So you will hear the occasional clunking because the workmen were just not about to stop their job of building another apartment block just because two girls wanted to record a podcast. But I mean, you can still hear her, but I think it's very magical for her to invite us into her personal space and share this powerful personal story of hers with us.
What's up, people? My name is Wangechi, aka Wangechi, and yeah, that's how I'd always say my name. I've always said my name like that for, it's been how long? 6 years now. The whole Wangechi type of thing. So I guess today I'm on 100 African stories. So probably it's going to be about a person I've known for about 6 years and started not knowing her more in these past 2 years and trying to figure out what else is she, because you can be defined by one thing forever. 19 is when I broke into the music industry. So when I was 19, actually, when I was doing music, at that point, I was just doing it for fun. And I was just doing it because, my can rap, and I felt like rapping is so cool. So now you release one song and then the song becomes big. That was Do For Love, Do For Love by Tupac, the remix for Tupac.
Oh, I loved that.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Me and I had it because that time I remember we were in the studio. It was me. Let me give these people different names. Which name can I give? It was me, Bosco, and Brayo, yeah. So it was me, Bosco, and Brayo in the studio. They're the ones who, I think I brought them the idea of doing the Do For Love cover, and then I did it because I'd written it a year before. Most of the songs that I've written, I've written them like 6 months before I actually get into the studio and do them. So now we're there with Bosco and Brayo, and I'm just like, okay, sawa. So we released it on SoundCloud. First day it got 400 plays. I'm like, wow, I feel like 400 plays are like 1 million plays. I'm like, oh my God, guys, are you seeing this? Then I continued growing, and then I remember by the first week it had reached 4,000. Yeah. So Bosco is like, man, even me in my whole career, I've never gotten that many views on SoundCloud. So I was like, okay, sir, then I guess I'm queen of SoundCloud now. And that's when it started. So I started releasing more songs on SoundCloud and everything, growing my SoundCloud base. So now that time I'm riding high. This time I'm on second year of university. There is no proper life that you live in university as a musician. Because first of all of us are young. Everybody wants to talk to you. And if they're not wanting to talk to you, they want to look at you as you pass through the hallway. All the teachers are like, I hear we're in the presence of a musician, blah, blah, blah. So it's just because now you're constantly being a musician every day. You're constantly being a celebrity every day, even if you're going to school. And I wasn't used to that life. Yeah. And now I'm already being thrown into that life. You actually can't walk alone. I couldn't walk alone in school. Actually, I've never walked alone in school.
Because... why, you were scared people would come?
People used to come. Yeah. I'm very introvert. I'm actually so introverted. I'm a Capricorn. Capricorns are introverted. We're strategic. Where this and this have to happen. Yeah. So I'm not so friendly. I used to get, if somebody comes and I don't know you, I get so withdrawn. Yeah. So most of my friends used to be in a crew. So if I'm going with somebody, I have to work with one person or two people or all of us together, so that I'm not too disturbed. But then again, Strath is a Barbie school, so you're not going to be mobbed. It's going to be one person coming to talk to, mostly guys. So yeah, so that was my life, and that was the beginning of Wangechi being formulated. First of all, then that time I'd done financial economics. Right now I'm like, my friend was asking me a week ago, if there's something in your life that, what do you regret most in your life? So I had two things. That what I chose to do for university. Oh, wow. So again, now I'm confused twice. I'm now a musician out of nowhere. And then I'm doing a course, which I only understood then, but then I didn't understand how it will help me in my life. Which it really didn't, because now I'm out here doing my own things. Second thing I regretted was, okay, this one is a bit sad. I regret still not being able to put on the safety belt for my friend. Yeah. So that she's the one who passed on and all of us survived. Though she was the sober one. So it's like, yeah, those are the two regrets. So moving on. I'm a musician, blah, blah, blah. Things keeps on going. Then I get signed to now Brayo's label. Okay. When you're signed onto a label, so many things had happened. I'd been called by CNN for the African Voices. So I'm like, man, you guys. That. Yeah, I'm like, man, you guys think it's going well. It's going well. Then there's some small gigs that I used to get that I used to be like, wow, I feel like I'm actually, like, in 2 years, I'm going to be the biggest star in Africa. Yeah. I was so sure I was going to be the biggest female rapper in Africa. that grew, and then the accident happened in 2014. So the accident happened when I was in third year.
And so it was an accident, just for those who didn't know, it was a car accident with you were three of you, so two of your friends, and one friend.
One friend passed on. The two of us are still here with almost something relationship, but it's good now. Yeah, so that's what happened. Now the accident happened in 2014. That was a big deal. That's now when I actually realized I'm not a musician, I am a star. Because I don't understand why anybody came to the hospital to come and see me, like my fans, because I didn't think I was that important to people. And then the funniest thing is I was delirious. Like if you came to see me, I wouldn't remember you by the next day. So me, I didn't know any of these things were happening. My only thoughts when I was in hospital is, why am I so thirsty? Where is my tooth, guys? Like who removed my tooth? Because I remember the first time I came back, like the first time I remember getting consciousness, I saw my mom and my auntie looking down at me, and I'm like, gish, this is not a movie. We're not on Days of Our Lives. You're actually in hospital. That time they have the oxygen masks, and then the oxygen is actually too crisp, pains your throat. So I was very thirsty because I was drinking, and therefore drinking dehydrates you. That's why when we come from rave, if you wake up in the morning, you're like thirsty, water. So this time they are not giving me water. So why was I going to that? Oh yeah, that's when I realized like I'm a big star.
I remember you trending.
Oh yeah, trending on Twitter.
Hashtag for days.
Yeah, I saw that now after like 2 months after I came back home. That's when I saw it. So that's when knowing who I was started sinking into me. I don't think I knew who I was before. But anyway, you're 19 and you're 20. What did you know when you're 19 and you're 20?
Exactly. And who are you even at that point?
Who are you? So my only definition of myself, that's what I realized like a week ago. Like the only definition I ever had of myself when I was younger was that I was a musician. Yeah. I didn't know much else about Wangechi apart from she sings. She also writes music, and she makes money out of writing music, and she's my mom's daughter, my brother's sister, my friends' friends. I didn't have any more that I knew about me.
Who is she?
Who is she? Wapi Oladas Kitu. So accident, then now came back into the industry, released a song. So now this was like, now guys were pressuring me, oh man, you have to come back with a song because you've been through this, talk about this and this on these songs, nini. So even me on this day, I'm like, hype. We're back in. This was like 3 months later. Now when at least I could do my own things, walk, wash myself, take myself to the toilet, because like during that whole thing, I was now a baby. I think that was actually a rebirth or something. Babyhood to now doing your own things, and so back inside it. Then I think I did now Coke Studio. The funniest thing about Coke Studio is I didn't think I deserved to do Coke Studio. At that age.
Why?
At that time. I don't think I was ready for it. I could see myself performing, and I could see myself doing all those things. And then there was a time, like before I was chosen for Superstar Week to do with Neo, guys were arguing about why am I there, because of I had done it with Ben Paul, and then I hadn't done it so well because I wasn't ready to be this. I wasn't yet fully accustomed to performing on stage. I couldn't walk that well. Like I was still a fraction of who I am.
Yeah.
So they started arguing. They didn't think I should get the Neo deal and everything. And I remember going home and I cried to my mom, and I was just like I think I'm going to lose this because people don't believe in me. But there's this one guy, now the owner, of course, when he puts his foot down, he puts his foot down. And he was like, she's the one who's going to do the Neo thing, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So now imagine now I was going back into Neo knowing half of the people here don't want me to be part of this thing. So me, I'm stepping back into this thing a week later. I'm like, nobody wants me here, but you know what? I'm making guaps. That's the first time I judged. I was 21, and that's the first time I tasted $1 million bob. All my friends in school just knew I was rich. All my homies. I'm like, you guys, I'm
new level.
Amelie. So that happened. But then I did so well during the Neo thing that I remember even Ice Prince coming and telling me, yo guy, like the rhymes that you busted there were so, like he actually pointed out one and said, hey, I loved that line.
Wow.
Neo was like my homie at that time. Like I felt like I was now at this, because everybody here is established. Me, I've over here been told that if we didn't want you on this thing, I've come there and I've like ran this race, and now I'm on the same level with all these guys. So like, I guess I'm a musician now. There's a realization that I'm a musician. So Coke Studio took me to a really high place really fast. And though I didn't feel like I was ready for it, I still appreciated having it. Because through me having it, I had a new inbuilt psych. and now I got more deals after that. Then we moved on to Safaricom Blaze. Yet again, I don't know why every time when I start these things, I feel like I have imposter syndrome. When I hit it, when I enter inside, I'm like, I don't think I should be here. Why am I even so-called invigilating, judging these teenagers on their ideas? Me, I've not even come up with an idea except a song. A kid is here telling me how they've started this business where they sell jewelry and blah blah blah, and this is why they need the money to do this and this and this. Then I don't know why I was thinking of these things last week. Because like all of us on this podium who are judging these people, we haven't made it as far as these kids that we're judging over here. So also again, I felt like an imposter for myself and an imposter for everybody
on behalf
else.
of everyone.
On behalf of all of us over here, guys. These people are doing better than we're doing. But anyway, if you're paying me, I'm inside.
I've tasted $1 million.
I tasted $1 million, give me another one. So I'm inside, let's do this. Then it happened again. Again, I tell you, I don't think I was ready for these things. Because now when for me to be able to do Blaze, I had asked to be able to perform in the different counties. So we went there, we performed. Then after the first 2 performances, that's when I realized my music is not for this country. The audience wasn't connecting. And these are kids. So I was like, the kids are just looking. It's like they've never heard of me before. This was where did we start? Started in LD. Then we went to Thika. And then I think also do I get another name for these people? Let's call them Shanzu. The Shanzu people. They're already. So now let's say the Shanzu people were also looking at me like, we don't think we want her here. So again, something that was meant to be mine was taken away from me, but I always look at it like I was not prepared to be that person who was on stage at that time. So clearly now all my musician life, I'm the person who's thought of me at the lowest. Like, I'm not my biggest supporter. Then I was removed. I remember when I was removed, I was so broken. They just sent somebody to say, we don't want Wangechi to perform on this round of this and this. I was like, cool. I went. I remember we were it was me. Now let's call this guy again Bosco. We don't know who Bosco and Barry is. So it was me, Bosco, and now one of my friends, Olive. And I could feel the pain in them more than I could feel it in myself. Me, after I think I always say there are 2 things in my life that happened, which after that I stopped stukaing. When I got into the accident, found out my friend was dead. That was my most emotional point. So there's nothing nowadays that takes me into any emotional nini, that because I'm always like, I survived that, I'll survive this. Then getting that new thing almost taken away from me. That's when I realized this world does not care. So I was just like, cool. All right, nimetolewa sasa Blaze on stage. So I'm seeing all these other big stars coming in front. The crowd is hyped, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, I don't think my music is meant for this country. So that was the first time I had that clear conversation with myself and asked myself what I think I'm meant to continue on this path, especially in this country. So it was so funny, like the week of me being denied the chance to perform for more of the counties and more of the Blaze thing was now when Tusker called me to want me to write the song for them. So me, I was just like, okay, so I'm Menkata. I have this deal on this other side. Stay with your things here. Even I'm happy we're on the last legs. So we go. Tusker calls me. I actually got it was an Instagram DM from one of the guys who was working there. So I'm like, cool. I go there. So this was on Sunday. So they want me to write the song on Monday in the morning. I'm like, I don't even know what this song is about. This, like, you'll find out on that day. The South African producer is coming in. I'm like, okay, sawa. This is a song. This is like an advertisement song. So we haven't discussed anything. We haven't discussed contract. We haven't discussed Malipo. We haven't discussed what the song is about. I know nothing. All I know is the next day I'm writing a song. I'm writing a song for Tusker. So first of all, I'm feeling hyped because I'm like, you guys considered me, what. But then something else I got to find out. You know me, I always find out these things back though. So this essay producer was given a list of all the Kenyan musicians' names. And then he was given the songs to listen to. So the best thing, I think Tusker was the time when I realized I actually deserve this. Because you've been given a list of all these big names. Guys have come out and then it's my name there that you decided I want her to be the one to write the song. Based on my music, the same music I'm saying, I don't think these guys understand my music. And somebody calls me that same week and they're like, we want you to write our song for our company because of your music. I was like, damn. I even forgot about that whole Blaze thing in like 30 seconds. I'm like, sawa man, mendelea. I get there on Monday. I meet him on that same day. He plays me the beat on that same day. Then he's like, okay, so now this song is needed in 3 hours. Hey! So I've come from Blaze. My roho has been cooled down and then I've been told this song is needed in 3 hours. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me try my best. And I know the song has to be catchy because this is now a Tusker song.
Exactly.
I haven't still discussed my contract. I haven't discussed. So now I have to give these guys that's why I knew. Like that day I was held with my hand. Because they're telling me, if you can't write this right now, where somebody's going to come in 14 minutes. So I'm just like, let me just take this opportunity and write these songs because you guys are holding my hand behind my back. So wrote it, came up with the chorus because somebody came into that room whistling something. And I was like, Sawa, that's what's going to be my chorus. And I always think that person was sent by God or the universe because I did not have any idea of what a catchy chorus would sound like. So the guy comes in, he's like, okay, you done with the song? Are you done with it? So this is a white guy. You done with the song? You done with the song? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm done with the song. So I hum it to him because I'm not sure he'd like it. I'm like, so the chorus, I think the chorus will go like, ooh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm thinking I'm done because the chorus didn't have any words. But I was just like, if you like it, we can do it. It was like, perfect. That's what's going to be our chorus. So you just drop some bars on the verse and blah, blah, blah. And that's how the song came together. Then we shot the video the next day. So that thing was just a project for running. So one of my mom's favorite songs. I think after that, my mom hasn't heard any else of my songs. I'm actually happy she's not my fan anymore. Because now I can sing about whatever I want.
Yeah.
Before every time I check a song, she comes, tells me, I heard you say this word here. Why is the video looking like this? What does this mean? Oh, Wangechi, oh, Nini, oh, Nini.
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's nothing to be told. I gave her Tusker song. It shows all her friends.
Yeah.
This is song. So yeah, I did that one. That was a very good deal. I think from the Tusker song is when I started growing as a human. Because the first time, so Tusker, the deal was, it was a licensing.
Yeah.
So every year, if they're using it, they
have to renew.
tunes.
Yeah.
So that was a very good deal. And the first time I got it, I did the same thing I would always do with my tunes. I'd take my tunes and I'd throw it into the music. I'd be like, we need to shoot a video. Sha, we need to go and do this where. Sha, we need to. So this time when I got this first one, I was like, hey man, now this will help my career. Because remember when I told you I was a millionaire when I was 20?
Yeah.
I wasn't a millionaire the next month. I actually don't know where that money went. You know, I had a discussion with my mom. I'm like, Mom, I don't know where that money went. This is what I bought, this. Then she's like, where did the money go? I had no clue. That's when I started looking into the people I'm surrounding myself with.
Exactly. You find yourself paying for things.
Paying for things that I'm not... Why am I signed if I'm paying for these things? Mm-hmm. Then again, the Tusker comes the first year. I'm like, yes, tunes. So, and this time I'm not doing anything for myself. I'm not taking myself to Sizi Zanzibar. I'm like, this has to go back to the music because if you help the music will help you. So take this money. I go, so we decide there's this red camera that's in TZ. We want to go and use it so we can shoot this magnificent video. So we can go there, we can rent it out. They have a studio. They had very good things that we could use. So I was like, perfect idea. I have the money for this. Paid flights, paid accommodation, went to TZ. TZ was when the ship started having holes.
So you're paying for the management, basically the label you're signed on.
Yes.
You're the one paying for the...
I'm the one paying for. I'm the one helping people. I'm the one paying for my own things. I'm the one who's doing everything here. So we go there. The ship now, that's when I knew, this ship has holes. I'm going to drown because these holes are becoming bigger. We go there. The organization for that trip wasn't legit because the guy we went to meet there, I thought they'd already talked about this whole thing and what we're going to get there. By the time we reached there, the guy is saying, okay, this is the amount of money you have to remove in Nini. So I thought it was going to be a free gig. Because I already paid so much money to organize this thing. And then I was meant to shoot 2 videos in one night. That was okay. But now I was shooting it towards the ends of the trip. So again, it's not organized. And as I said, I'm a Capricorn. Ability, logics, nini. So we reached there. The first 4 days, it's vacation. So I'm just like, when are we going to do what we came here to do? I'm like, okay, sir. So we started doing it the night before. On that night, this is after we've argued, we've tried to get the price down, first to get these things. You know, these expensive cameras have a keeper. A keeper is the guy who stays next to the camera.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. You have to stay next to the camera so that guys don't fall it down. This camera is like 7 million. So the keeper starts saying he's sleepy and he was so grumpy. I think he had come from shooting the night before. He starts saying he's sleepy at 11 p.m. The music video started being shot at 9. 11 p.m. You don't finish a music video. You finish it at 6 a.m. Yeah. So this guy is saying, me, I'm sleepy. This time I haven't finished the first video. I'm like, what is happening here? And he's refusing.
Yeah.
He's those guys who I'm sure look down on Africa. So I remember shooting the first video. It was a song called Times 2. We were running so much. I was sweating as I was shooting it. Like you could see like sweat dropping down my face as I was shooting. And I'm telling guys, let's not stop. Continue shooting. So luckily we finished both videos. But of course you can know if a video is rushed that much. So I remember it was raining. And I went outside and I cried. And I said, I will never feel this hopeless and this painful again.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why I'm feeling like this. If I put my trust on other people to make things work. So again, I was putting my trust too much on other people for my own career, which is Wangechi's career. Nimelia. We packed our things. The footage was supposed to come with a hard drive now to Kenya since it come from TZ. I didn't care about that. Me already knew. Hapa nimechoma, sijui how much money. I remember sitting in the airport and I was just like, I can't wait to get home. Because in my mind, imagine I'm sitting in the airport and I'm thinking about how I need to do this video. And I'm thinking about how I need to get that money. Because now I've finished all the chums I've gotten. So I'm thinking of what I have remaining. Who can help me? Who can give me at least a loan for this and this to happen? So it's still me still thinking about how to fix this whole situation. And not the label. That was not even the time. I think those are the moments for waking me. I always say I'm a creature of, I have to go through problems to understand. Like,
you have to be burnt.
I have to be burnt. Like, me, I want to get it if somebody else went through it. I just be like, Paul. You have to stab me next to the chest for me to be. I understand why knives are sharp. I can never understand anything without my leg being broken or... So, get back to Nairobi, hustle for money. My friends came through. But it was stands for, give me this, I'll pay you back. Because now it's like I've taken a loan from the bank. So, we shoot the video when we came back. Notice I'm telling you about renting this camera so that it makes sense in the end. So, then I rent... Now, the camera is also in Kenya. But in Kenya, it's the lesser version. Yeah. It's like the iPhone 6. And there we went for the iPhone X. So, it's still an iPhone. But it's the levels. Kuna levels to this thing. Chums found, shot the video. Yes, everybody's feeling great. Even me, I'm feeling great. I'm like, oh, wow, this is so fantastic. So I didn't believe in the song, but then I believed in how people felt around the song. Okay. But I didn't believe in the song. Also, it reached a point where I stopped having hype for myself stopped enjoying my own music. I think there was also a point where I was doing the music because of what somebody is telling me to do. So even like beat selection, anything, it wasn't, I was never authentically Wangechi. So we shoot the video and then now there's something that happened that caused now remember the holes on the boat? Yes. The holes on the boat have now expanded. Now they're gaping holes.
We're sinking,
guys. We're sinking. So I don't know whether I should go into details of the story. Should I go into details?
It's what you're comfortable with.
Me, I don't care. So this is my therapy. So now we had a Tusker gig. So remember I told you I finished all my money in TZ?
Yes.
So this Tusker gig, I know they're going to give me money for going on stage. So I'm like, this can generate some money for me to shoot this video. We go for this Tusker gig. I'm like, yes. At least I found a way to accumulate dough for this thing. So we reached there, me and my man. I had a day manager, the guy who takes me around. Again, you see, why do we have all this? And now I tell my daytime manager, we reached the event and we got in there nicely. So now Paul is having problems with the bouncers at the entrance. So me being a logical human being, as I say, I'm a Capricorn. I tell my daytime manager and the organizer of the event, the Tusker event, please go to the gate and pick this guy up. So they go to the gate. This time I know he has my flash disc, and my flash disc is what I need to perform. If he didn't have my flash disc, I wouldn't have given a damn. So I'm like, okay, so my flash disc is there, so I have to behave. Normally, I have to lick this ass completely so that I can get back my flash disc and I can go on stage and I can perform. So I send the guys, then the manager comes and then he tells me, amekata kuingia. I'm like, what do you mean amekata kuingia? Amesema, ni sisi tumekuja kumchukua, na si wewe umekuja kumchukua, so hawezi ingia. I'm thinking, I'm the star here. I have to come from backstage, go to the entrance where the fans are entering through to pick you to get my flash disc. Again, this is my flash disc. Why do I need my flash disc? To perform. Why do I need to perform? To gather up money to shoot my video. So, me being me, I compress every emotion I am feeling, walk to the main gate. I go there. I have never been shouted at like that for my whole life. Even my mom, when we argue, it's so calm. Yeah. I've never seen somebody so angry for such a small thing. And that's when I started realizing this is not where I'm supposed to be. That was the day the boat sank. So I was like, this is not logical thingy. But then I do my thing because I need this flash disc. So I get the flash disc. I've gone there, oh, it's my fault. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah. So then I take the flash disc, I go, I perform. Hallelujah. Check comes in on Monday, video shot on Friday. So we shoot the video. Now the manipulation started becoming more live to me. I hadn't realized manipulation because I was young. I was 19, blah, blah, blah. So I was staying put because I knew what I wanted. I wanted my career to blow up. I wanted all these things to happen. But now as I was getting older is when I was starting to realize there's nothing much I'm getting here. All the gigs I was getting, I didn't recall anybody ever going to sit in an office and saying this is why you should use her and this and this and this.
Pitching for you.
There was no pitching. Those things, it was actually God who was aligning them with my path for me to become who I am right now. So video is short, and then it wasn't manipulation, it was just some words that were being said, because somebody can tell you, I don't think you should be doing music anymore, I don't think you're serious about it. At this time, Adele, nimemaliza pesa TZ nimerudi hapa, nimejitafutia pesa ya kufanya hii video. Somebody has the audacity to tell me I don't think you should be doing it anymore. This was because, okay, so Paul got into a sort of small accident where like his hand was grazed, and I couldn't go to see the person as much as I frequently do because where they stay is completely far. I had sold my car that week that the same thing had happened. Why did I sell the car? Oh, damn it. Okay, so remember I'd sold my car. I just remember. So put that in the briefcase. There's a briefcase we're about to open. So I sold the car. I couldn't be going as frequent as I used to go to the studio to do my stuff. But I used to check up like on SMS. So that's when now the comments started happening of I don't think you're serious with music, blah, blah, blah. I've been hurt and most people have come to see me and you haven't even come to see me, what. So that's now when I started bembelezing again, because you know why? He has the edits for the video. So I'm still playing the bigger person role here. So I bembeleza, and then one just triggered me and I was just like, you know what? I don't need this no more. Because he said, I don't think you should be doing music anymore. I brushed that one off. Then he said, people have come to visit me and you haven't even come to visit me. Brush it off, bembelezad. He said, ever since the Tusker event, I don't know who you are as a person anymore. He still tried to blame the Tusker event on my actions instead of his own actions and his own stupidity that led him not to be entered. By arguing with bouncers, it's still my fault. How? And it's still my character that you're judging. I was just like, how? This is what you've done. How is this still about? How is that about me? I was just like, you know what? I went downstairs. We used to live in another house. I went downstairs. I told my mom, I'm thinking of leaving Paul and doing my own thing. She told me, that's the best decision you have ever made in your life. After my mom told me those words, I went upstairs. I said, by the way, no more manipulation. If you have anything to tell me, I don't want to listen to it anymore. Keep everything you have. I don't care. That was the last time. My phone never replied another text message. I never picked up any other phone calls. Of course, you keep on being badgered and what. Even the next day, I was sent for an email discussing of how we should split the music and split like the videos and everything. I just responded, man, I'd tried to buy back my music and try to buy back the video, the edits. Because now, okay, music, I was ready to buy the music. The edits, I don't understand what was being sold for them at such a high price. And I'm the one who's paid for this video. Because music I could understand because the label has been put in. So now I have songs that I hadn't paid for because this is a label. I was like, I wanted to buy the songs. I think there was a point where he came to his senses and so he could sell the song. But then he wants to still have control over me. So then he reached a point, he's like, there's no amount of money you can give me for this music. That was not the night before. So I'm just like, okay. So I'm not getting my songs back. And then I'm not getting my video back. I don't know why it was the most peaceful thing to let go of. There was no me feeling like, I'm going to die. Oh, I have no music. I have no musicianship. This is where now the legally clueless part comes in. I knew I was letting go of this person who I've known for, me personally, I've known Wangechi for 5 years as a musician. And this was the night I'm letting go of her. And there was no friction. There was no, oh my God, it was very good sigh of relief. It's the most right feeling I've ever had. Just felt like it's time to let go. It's time to let go. My mom told me that. I was just like, guys, it's over. It's been nice knowing you, Gish. We don't need to be manipulated. We don't need to be controlled. We just need to be free. And I flew like a bird. I flew like a bird for like that night only, because the next day I was like, what the hell? But then now he's written the email. He's asking us, like, I think the next morning he realized what's happened. He's asking us at EO, how do we then split this thing, what. I just wrote back. I replied so nice. I'm just like, stay with everything you believe is yours. I don't want any of that. I don't want to ever communicate with you again. Never write to me again. Wangechi has ended in 2017, April. That was the end time. I thought it was going to be easier than what it actually was, but it was so hard. I remember 2017 was like it was second. 2014 was my worst year. 2017 was my second worst year. And I was even on Twitter today, and then guys were asked when was your worst year. And I was seeing so many people saying 2017. I was like, so was 2017 a bad year for many people?
I got married in 2017.
Oh, sorry. For some of us, 2017. Oh Oh my God. So 2017, I was at home. I think maybe that's what I think my mom used to look at me like a loser. I'm so sure my mom used to see me as a loser. She used to be like, so you're staying home today? I was like, what else do I have to do? I've sold the car and I've lost the music. I finished uni. We graduated in 2016. All my friends are getting jobs now. Everybody's starting life. Me, I've ended life when people have started life. I think it was just too much. Everything was just going so wrong and I didn't know how to make it right again. I wasn't angry I'd left though. I still wouldn't. I would, as I always say, I would do that thing 10,000 times over. I'd still do the same thing. So the reason why I sold my car is because now I came up with a business idea before I had left the label. When we were telling about the cameras and everything, I used to ask, like, after I cried that time when they said I'd never go through this again, I was asking myself, why did they have to go that far to get that equipment? Why don't I just have it for myself here and rent it out to other people so that we also have our equipment here in Kenya? Because I've gone asking around, what is it guys need? Do guys need the camera? Do guys need the lenses? What makes the difference between the pictures that we have and what's the guy like Justin Campos doing in SA? Yeah, I reached out to Justin. I asked him to give me a breakdown of like all the equipment he used, what we'll be using for the shoot. So now that was how I found out what to buy, because I was like, the cameras, I know they're here. These lenses might be what makes the difference between the pictures. Now that's when I had to now find out a way of how I was going to raise 2.8 million with my broke self seated at home lazily. So I sold the car. It was like a small Vitz. I sold it for like, I think 200 bob. 200 G's. So that gives me 10% to get these people starting to create the lenses, because they take 3 months to make, but they need a deposit of 10% of the amount so they can start making them. Okay. So my 10% came from my car. I didn't know how I was going to get the rest, but I knew they have the 10%, let them start making it. I have 3 months to figure out how to get the rest of this cash. That's now why I became a loser. Now I was at home because now I have zero. 2017 I was loser number one. I wasn't even on Instagram. I wasn't anywhere. I was just loser number one. Okay, but my friends, the best thing I have is that I have such great friends. So also the guys who are always handling my bill anywhere we go, I just tell them, Sina do, I say, come through, we'll pay for you. So I became my friend's child. How I got the rest was, Youth Fund actually works in this country. Yeah, Youth Fund actually works. So Youth Fund are the ones who helped me. They give you a loan by 0% interest. So it makes sense for the youth and everything. I know the product is usually has so much bile around it because so many people have stolen money from it. But there's some success story. Every story has a success story and unsuccessful stories. So there are quite many successful stories there. So if I was to advise anybody listen to this podcast, if you're not yet 31, you have the ability to grow your idea and make the business that you want to make. But funny thing is... So I got the things, what? I'm psyched, I'm pumped. I didn't know how hard be a Shara is. I thought, hey, you know what? It's going to blow up by the beginning. I didn't make money for a solid 4 months. But then now I started something else. I think now I was just starting things. I was like, okay, what do we do next? So doing serviced apartments, but now under Airbnb, because I didn't understand what Airbnb was. So I just took furniture, like upstairs in this house, the attic is empty. So we took furniture, we filled it in. I got my first guest. I was like, wow, look at that. I've made 2 G's. So now that was now the money that kept me afloat. Yeah. So even as the business was failing, kumbe, this other one that I didn't think much of is growing and is what now is making me stand. So that's how I went from being legally clueless by losing my music and the person that I knew, and to discover this whole other entrepreneur person that I hadn't known lives inside me, who knows how to start a business, how to almost grow a business. And now I'm inside it. I'm like a baby entrepreneur. I'm moving into high school. When I know we were talking about house music and everything, when you entered, it's because I found just something else that I'm good at, and I'm like, why not be here where nobody tells me on Twitter, nyimbo zako zinabo. I feel like there's so much criticism around it that it was also taking me down as a person. I used to look down on myself as a person because of this one person on Twitter who just woke up in the morning and decided vitu zako zinabo, when I can live this very nice, quiet life where I'm happy with myself. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm helping other businesses gain money through an experience, through something I had to teach myself. Can be as many years as you want to be. I'm 25 now. Like, I have grown so much. Like, as an individual, I actually clap for myself. I'm like, man, you're doing great. You're doing so great. Let me do what I want to do, because in the end of the thing, it's my life. So even if the fans say they'll miss me or whatever, I might come back, but I won't come back on your time. I'll come back on my time, because I'm really enjoying my life. I even started mountaineering. I climbed Mount Kenya last year. Most beautiful thing I've ever done. Breathtaking. I don't know, you don't climb that mountain and come back the same person. And I always look for such spiritually uplifting things that just make me breathe and be like, wow, and your life is bigger than this. So this year I'm doing Kilimanjaro in September. I hope I go and come back with a whole different version of me.
You know, when she said she was 25, I was just like, man, what was I doing at 25? Nothing constructive, that's what. She's now into business. Make sure you follow her on Instagram. That's at Wangechi Music. And you can also follow this podcast at Legally Clueless Podcast on Instagram. I put up a new episode every single Monday on Castbox, on SoundCloud, and on Apple Podcasts. And that's it for this episode of Legally Clueless. You can share this podcast with your friends. You can keep it for yourself. I'm not judging. Just make sure you're here next week for the next episode.